Coming up on the Sports Desk, LA may be the city of angels, and as far as we're concerned, Torrance is now the city of champions. Can the curse be reversed on the pitch at South? The team everybody thought was going to rebuild, running deep through the playoffs with some serious momentum that surprised all of us. And a team that sticks together, well, wins. North versus West on the hardwood. Two schools that already can't stand one another, duking it out for a spot in the big one. Somebody's going to come out a CIF champion when the dust settles. And again, we tip our caps to coaches. This week, it's a mentor whose influence doesn't start and end with just one El Camino athletic program. She teaches and trains behind the scenes while we see the results of her work from Warrior athletes on every field and court. It's the Sports Desk, and it starts right now. What's up, Torrance? Always good to hang out with you. Welcome to another week on the Sports Desk. I'm your host, Wan Hernandez. We got a huge week around Torrance for you to recap, so there's really no point in messing around with the nonsense. We still have a postseason to talk about. Even with 5 high schools in Torrance, it's rare that we don't move on from fall sports to winter sports or winter to spring pretty quick. There's always the occasional juggernaut like 2013's Bishop Montgomery boys basketball squad ran into the Southern California Regionals, hunting for a state title. Even in the fall of 2012, we had 2 football squads playing in the CIF championships on television. But for the most part, each season comes and goes with the standout here while the rest of Torrance's field dwindles down against the rest of the southern section in the quarterfinals and beyond. Just goes to show you how tough the competition and how good teams really are when they're making semifinal appearances. Which is what brought us to last week. 4 Torrance girls programs steamrolling through the postseason into the final rounds of the CIF Southern Section playoffs. And the place we've seen so many local schools end their season, semifinals. The week that just seems to haunt the city of Torrance. In the winter of 2014-2015, West Torrance and North Torrance will face off in the regular season as Pioneer League foes. But with the CIF championship game on the line this season, didn't look like these programs would have any problem gearing up for each other in the future. Heading into their CIF semifinal match, neither team had won a playoff game by less than 20 points. And with West out to an early 8-0 lead in the first, it looked like North might be on the wrong side of that trend for the first time in their postseason. But even against a much taller team, the quicker Saxons clamped down on defense for their first lead with a 12-2 run to close out the first quarter. In what was mostly a back-and-forth first half, the tightest West had endured all postseason, the truth that these schools weren't just playing another random playoff squad was becoming obvious. Season on the line or not, it was still 2 Torrance squads fighting to own the city. And in a time where recruiting and transfers are as normal in high school hoops as they are in the college ranks, it was the homegrown Warriors who prevailed. 11 of the squad's 12 players having grown up in the Torrance school system, it really was a City of Torrance championship masking itself as the CIF semifinals. Emotions ran high, sometimes getting the best of both sides, and even with West threatening to take another 20-point lead heading into the fourth quarter, it was the Saxons running at full speed until the final buzzer that reminded us there's going to be a whole lot of these two teams going at it in the near future. The Warriors closed out a 66-51 win to secure their trip to the CIF finals and play for the school's first girls basketball championship ring with classmates rushing the court. No doubt, salt rubbed into that open wound for the rival Saxons, because whether either school will admit it now or not, a rivalry's heating up in the South Bay. So, get ready for next year. So West and North settled on the court with the West Torrance student section getting all kinds of rowdy on game night. Only thing better than a rivalry game is a rivalry game with high stakes. Their second appearance in the semifinals in 3 years, and with that, West gets their first trip to a CIF championship game since 1990. But come on, I'm not ready to spill the beans on the championship game just yet. Remember, we're still talking semifinals in this town. While North and West campuses may have their own rivalry brewing, the South Spartans have had their own problems to handle, having nothing to do with student athletes in any other corner of town. We've come to call it a curse even. More than one curse, as a matter of fact, in order to explain why South Soccer has been to a CIF semifinal every year of President Obama's term, with only one win to show for it. So, time to ask the Green Machine, why so blue come semifinal time? South soccer in the CIF semis has become about as automatic as Tiger Woods used to be in a golf major.
Just the last 7 years the girls have made it to the semis, and they've kept getting knocked out, and they've kept getting knocked out.
And every year we've gone to the semis, and it's always been a tough loss for our seniors and everything, but this year I think our team has the most heart out of every 4 years I've ever played here. 7 consecutive appearances, just one win. You can call it a curse, we certainly have. So, was it the late start Tuesdays, or hexed by our local paper?
The last 6 years, Daily Breeze has put out an article on South the day of the semis. So I very sweetly told the Daily Breeze writer, I said, I don't want to see a paper on Tuesday. I said, you can put out an article whenever you want, not on Tuesday. And I'm very happy that he listened.
Oh gosh, it feels like our whole school has a curse, like girls volleyball has this curse and now we do, but we just kind of went into this saying that we need to win. I don't think anyone brought up that we've lost every time in the semis.
But after the Spartans beat Marymount to secure their second shot at a title in 5 years, there's finally no curse left to talk about. At the end of the 2013 season, 15 seniors left the South girls soccer squad. Along with them went Coach Brad Gomez. It was the perfect recipe if there ever was one to have a rebuilding season. Or maybe it was the perfect recipe to find a good luck charm instead of worrying about a silly curse.
I think this year nobody even expected us to get this far. We've been super superstitious. The pasta parties have been at my house before every single game, so we won't want to break that tradition. The assistant coach and I go, one of the players, her parents own Red Car Brewery in Torrance, so that's where we're going because we've been going there after every game, and we get the same pizza. We've been wearing the same clothes. My husband hasn't washed his shirt in 2 weeks.
It was all or nothing right now. We wanted the finals so bad, and we wanted to keep going to practice every day. We wanted this. Like, there was no other way to put it that we just wanted this really bad.
So the stage is set. 3 girls squads playing for it all over the weekend. Let's see who gets to hang a CIF banner next.
Parents sure have their hands full, and they could use an extra hand. Now, every state offers free or low-cost health insurance for your sports hero or budding artist. Kids up to age 19 can get checkups, doctor and dentist visits, hospital care, prescriptions, and more. Your child may qualify based on your family size and income. It's one less thing to worry about. Call or go online for more information.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Nicole Malachowski, a U.S. Air Force Fighter Squadron Commander and the first woman pilot with the United States Air Force Aerial Demonstration Team. My fellow airmen and I know that each of us plays a huge part in our victories, whether in the air or on the ground. We couldn't accomplish our mission without using everyone's skills to reach our goals. Embracing our differences and working together is also what has made America strong. Thank you for your support, and remember, our strength lies in our diversity. This message brought to you by the United States Air Force.
Hi, welcome back to the Sports Desk. Like I said, 3 girls squads playing in the big one over the weekend. And it's one thing to get excited about a championship game appearance, but nobody wants to come this far to finish second. Plus, major upside for a championship weekend filled with Torrance teams in a drought year. Think about it. Biggest city in the South Bay creates a whole new local economy when high school athletes start winning championships left and right. Obviously, there's something in the water. Ball it up, let the rest of the Southland buy that stuff by the gallon if they think it'll help them win championships. 3 teams, 3 rings, 3 stories. Whether it was the freshman who drilled the biggest shot of the year to get them there, behind a first-year head coach, or another freshman on another campus whose golden goal was the only thing that could top the death of a curse, with another new head coach. Or maybe it was the team who's raising a CIF banner for the first time in school history. Maybe, just maybe, there's something in the water here. At the beginning of the 2014 winter postseason, Torrance's 5 schools sent all 5 girls basketball teams to the playoffs and 3 girls soccer teams. Over a week later, entering the quarterfinals, all but one was still alive. The opening round, CIF's version of March Madness's Field of 64, a clean sweep by the city of Torrance. Yeah, there probably is something in the water. On the pitch, defense was the name of the game. Torrance, West, and South, allowing only 3 goals combined the entire postseason. 3 goals given up by an entire city. For the Spartans' 5 postseason wins, 2 of them wouldn't be decided in regulation. Meanwhile, on the court, more domination. For West, that simply meant nobody was even going to come close enough to take a swing, winning every playoff game by double digits. No buzzer beaters, no fighting off late rallies, no silly business. As Al Davis would say, just win, baby. The story at Bishop was mostly the same until the nitty-gritty. As if a buzzer beater to force OT in the semis wasn't enough, fighting off a fourth quarter surge and defending the same shot in the finals only made their championship feel like destiny. Pretty sure there's something in the water. In the girls soccer Division II SoCal Regional Playoffs, South will carry an emotional CIF title to take on the best in the state, starting with powerhouse La Costa Canyon. West, still expected to be just as dominant against SoCal's toughest, ranked 2nd Division II, with an opportunity to take down Bay League rivals Miracosta and Redondo one last time before making their move to the Pioneer League. Meanwhile, the Knights, with Bishop basketball back on top, have no time to slow down from their thrilling finishes in CIF, because it's time to host more postseason hoops at home in the opening round. 3 teams, 1 curse put to bed. 2 first-year coaches, 3 league titles, 3 CIF titles, 3 massive celebrations, 3 new shots at a SoCal Regional State Championship. They may be hanging banners, but the hunt for more titles is far from over in this town. Yes, there's definitely something in the water.
We just want CIF!
I have no shortage of great ideas, and I'm pretty sure that is my best one yet, as long as we don't start bottling water from the Madrona Marsh or something, unless we want to export it to Palos Verdes. Oh, the Ladies Knights earning their 7th CIF championship in those 13 appearances, a solid come-from-behind win in their first big game appearance in just over 10 years, back when WNBA star Noelle Quinn was leading the black and gold. As for the West Warriors, their Saturday matchup played a little tighter than the score would suggest, but still, West's perfect run through the playoffs ends with another double-digit victory. Kayla Sato and Kylie Fujioka lead the way, combining for 42 of their squad's 65 points. But do not be fooled, this was not a two-lady show through the playoffs, perhaps the most dominant postseason performance we've seen in the city of Torrance in a while. The Warriors won their 5 playoff games by an average score of 70-42. They were the top-ranked Division II team in the tourney, and 3 of their 5 playoff opponents in that 2-week span included teams ranked in the top 10 of that field of 32. That one league champ they took down along the way, you guessed it, the North Saxons, who ironically enough, if they don't call it a huge rivalry just yet, we will, because next year the Warriors and the Saxons are going to be in the same league, just like we said. West, the defending CIF champs, and North, defending the Pioneer League championship.